Hello, dear beloveds. I just wanted to jump in and do a little mini masterclass. I haven't done one of these for a little while, and I guess when these happen is usually when something's been playing on my mind for quite some time, and it just sort of I get kind of impatient with myself, I guess, and it needs to come out, and I need to share what I'm feeling. And today I want to talk about the idea of fear and fearlessness. And fearlessness is something that I teach in my intuitive intelligence workshops. It's really the foundation of activating your intuition is fearlessness. And it's something that I talk about a lot, but I sort of want to break that down and explain why getting fearless is a requirement or a prerequisite for being really intuitive, for being healthful, for being joyful, for being content, for being abundant, for being successful, no matter what that word means to you. You know, one of the things I realized in my life when I reflect on it is that there were many spiritual practices that I was devoting myself to and engaged in. And the processes themselves became like an addiction, if you like. So we can get really caught up in being at one or other kind of practitioner, or we can get really excited about new techniques that we learn. And are you a transcendental meditator, or do you study Zen Buddhism? And we can get really intrigued by the ways that spirituality can become entered into. But what I have discovered for myself, and what I've observed in even some of my own spiritual teachers and for lots of spiritual seekers, is that if you are building your spiritual practices on a fear-based foundation, it doesn't really matter what practices you engage in. The foundation is faulty, and ultimately you will not be in alignment with your success, your joy, your abundance. So one of the things that I talk about is meaning versus cause. And I want to talk about this in a slightly different way. I want to talk about symptoms versus cause. So I want to talk about the idea that we often only treat the symptoms of our problems. So whether we don't have enough money, or we have physical health issues, we're in shitty relationships, or we don't have any professional success, whatever it is that we're trying to reach for and we're not getting, and we're being devoted and we're doing our practices, and we're trying to learn new spiritual things, and we're reading all our books, and we're drinking our green juice. It's like you are only treating the symptom. So if I go to someone and I say, look, I've got this rash on my arm, and I've got anxiety, and I'm not sleeping very well at night, if the person I go to see says to me, okay, well, we'll give you a treatment for this, and we'll do this, and blah 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 blah, ultimately that is not going to work, because if we do not address the fear that is causing the problem in the first place, then we are simply putting a band-aid on top of a faulty foundation. Do you understand? The foundation of your reality needs to be brought into a state of fearlessness in order for you to build anything you want on it. And we will either have hit and miss success, or we won't have any success, or we'll get success for a time and then we'll lose it if we do not address the fears that are sitting in our foundation. And this takes great courage, and it's not the image of spirituality that we necessarily want to be believing in, which is that everything is sunshine and rainbows and unicorns. But that is actually bullshit. Spirituality is awakening consciousness. We are awakening to the fear that is trapped in our subconscious basement that is in fact ruling our lives. And until we take courage and we go on a journey into that subconscious basement to meet our unmet fear, rather than trying to cover it up with yet another modality, or yet another practitioner, or yet another promise, or a light that's going to activate our pineal gland or whatever, it's all bullshit. What heals is overcoming the belief in separation. What causes suffering, what causes lack of success, what causes lack of abundance is the belief in separation. And when we overcome our fear that we are separate from the rest of the world and from God or the universe, whatever language you use, that is where the healing begins. But in order to activate that healing, we need to be willing to meet our darkness. We need to be willing to meet our shadow. Without fear, we need to be willing to look at our addictive patterns, because addiction is simply where you have said, I'm powerless here. I abdicate responsibility for myself. I have to smoke. I have to drink. I haven't yet got to the point where I'm strong or bold or brave enough to do this on my own. All you're saying is, I'm abdicating responsibility for my life. But we're not just addicted to substances. We're addicted to our own powerlessness. We are addicted to living as though we are victims of our reality. We are addicted to that belief because it means that we don't have to take full responsibility. And if you want to be a truly activated intuitive, if you want to be a truly enlightened or awakened spiritual seeker, if you want abundance, success, joy, unlimited health, then you simply need to make your first port of call, where am I holding unmet fear? And what am I prepared to do in order to meet that fear and clear it out? It is inevitable once you do that all other things, health, wealth, happiness, will follow. It cannot be any other way. But if you go and treat your symptoms, I have to go and look at why I'm not abundant and, figure out that my dad didn't have abundance and therefore I've taken on that mindset of blah, 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 blah. What you need to do is go and look at your fear, which is simply one fear. I do not believe that I am the universe. I do not believe that I am one with all that there is. And if you're willing, my darling, the universe will rush in to support you. So even if you don't know how to do that, you simply need to be willing. So here's a prayer that you can use, a simple prayer. I take it as a given that most people in this group are on a path of service of some kind. Most light workers identify as being in service to awakening consciousness. We need to serve ourselves first, of course. So one of the most profound prayers that we can use is, Dear universe, increase my power to serve. And so it is. But I want to take us through a little prayer now, prayer being the way that we speak to the universe, the language of the universe, and that is about generating the feeling state. And I want you just to, if you feel comfortable to do so now or later, you can listen back, just closing down your eyes and feeling into gratitude. Feel into one thing in the last day or so for which you feel profound gratitude. You will get so good at this practice that you don't even need to think of something. You simply hold a thought in your mind like activate gratitude or, whatever way you're going to do it, or you simply start breathing into your heart, and what you'll find is that gratitude just starts pumping out. Okay. When you've got that, just feel that filling up your heart and expanding with every breath. And we're going to say, okay, dear God, dear universe, I know I have unmet fear inside of me, buried deep down in my subconscious mind. And I know that if I leave it there, it's going to reduce my life. And I don't want my life to be reduced, because I am here as a servant of you, dear universe. I am here to serve the world. And I cannot be in a reduced state. I must be in my full power. And so I'm asking you this day, dear God, dear universe, be with me. Be inside of me. Be in front of me. Be behind me. Be on both sides of me and hold me up when I cannot hold myself. Guide my actions. Be with me in my speaking. Stay with me in my thoughts. Elevate me with your love when I cannot find my own. And allow me to lovingly release the fear that I have not yet met, and to recognize when my behavior is addictive, fear-based thinking. Illuminate my soul from within so that I may see the darkness and bring it into the light with ease and grace. All this I know you and I together are truly capable of achieving. And even though I don't yet know how, I am willing. I am willing. I am willing. And so it is. And then your prayer is taken forth by your gratitude into the universe, and it is unmissable. And as Caroline May says, as soon as you put a prayer out into the universe, behave as though everything that happens from that time is an answer to that prayer. Even if you don't know how that is going to serve the request to become fearless, allow that prayer. Allow yourself the knowing that that prayer has been answered, and that in the fullness of time or immediately that you will receive all the information about how everything that's happening in your life from the moment of that prayer is in service to your fearlessness. Fearlessness is all that you need to seek, my dear ones. That's it. It's pretty epic, but it is all you need to seek. You do not need to seek the way to fix your skin problems or your weight issues or your anxiety or your or any of these other issues. These are simply symptoms of fear. And when we are willing to overcome fear, the universe will rush in to support us. I love you like Christmas. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for all your beautiful messages. Have the most beautiful Tuesday. Bye.